Okay, let's just dive right into this explainer and unravel a completely terrifying yet, well, mathematically fascinating medical mystery that literally happens every single day. We've all been there, right? You get a piece of startling news and boom, your immediate instinct is to jump to the absolute worst possible conclusion. But today, we're going to explore the surprising math behind rare event testing together. And honestly, by the end of this, you're going to see why the answer to a scary situation usually isn't anywhere near as frightening as it first seems. Let's start with Section 1, the positive test paradox.
Just imagine this for a second. You go to the doctor for a normal routine checkup, and the doctor decides, hey, let's run a test for a very rare disease. A few days go by, the phone rings, and you get the news. The test came back positive. Your heart just absolutely drops. Your mind starts racing. It's this highly emotional scenario that completely tests your basic intuition. But should you actually panic? What's the real mathematical reality of this result?
Well, here is the massive disconnect. That test you just took, it boasts a 99% accuracy rate. And to our everyday brains, 99% basically means certainty, right? You think it's a sure thing. Yet, because of a really bizarre mathematical quirk, despite that 99% accuracy, you might actually only have a 9% actual chance of being sick. I mean, let that sink in. It's a massive statistical paradox. No way, right? But it's entirely true. Moving right along to Section 2, updating your beliefs.
To really understand why you shouldn't panic, we have to look under the hood at the invisible math engine that governs how we process new information. It's called Bayes' Theorem. It's this incredibly elegant formula used to update the probability of a hypothesis based on new evidence. And it simply works by combining your prior probability, basically what you knew before the test, with the likelihood of the observed evidence, which is the test result itself. Put those together, and you get an updated posterior probability. Bayes' theorem essentially just formalizes how a logical brain works. Think about it. First, you start with an initial assumption, that's your prior belief. Then you encounter some new evidence. And finally, you update your beliefs by weighing that brand new data against how likely the original event was to begin with. You aren't throwing out everything you knew, you're just updating your confidence. It's kind of like a giant puzzle where you just continuously add a new piece to see the bigger picture. Which brings us to Section 3, the 1% catch.
So, how exactly does this math resolve our terrifying medical paradox? Let's head back to the doctor's office. The absolute vital detail here is 1 in 1,000. We have to consider that this rare disease only affects 1 in 1,000 people in the general population. That is our baseline prior probability, meaning before you even took the test, your chance of being sick was incredibly, incredibly small. And this brilliantly illustrates the math in action. If you test a massive population, the vast majority of positive results actually come from healthy people who just got caught in that 1% false positive rate. Notice how that absolute mountain of false positives completely towers over the tiny fraction of people who are actually sick. Because the disease is so rare, a tiny 1% error rate on a 99% accurate test creates a literal avalanche of false alarms. The ultimate takeaway here is that accuracy alone simply doesn't tell the whole story when a condition is extremely rare. Even a highly, highly accurate test can produce significantly more false positives than true positives if the underlying condition is scarce in the first place. So you always have to account for the rarity of the event, not just the accuracy of the alarm. Now let's look at Section 4, Bayes in the real world. Zooming out for a second, this concept extends way beyond medical diagnostics. Bayes' theorem is quite literally everywhere. It's the underlying logic catching all that junk in your spam filter. It drives machine learning classification, helps evaluate really complex evidence in courtrooms, and powers the search and recommendation algorithms you use every single day. Anywhere a system needs to constantly update its confidence as fresh data arrives, Bayes is the invisible engine hard at work. So Bayes' theorem perfectly updates our beliefs for individual pieces of evidence. But, it leaves us with a pretty provocative question for our next explainer. What happens to averages when you take many random samples? Like, when you pull back and look at the behavior of large groups instead of just single events, this whole new mathematical phenomenon takes over. It's known as the central limit theorem, and it is a totally fascinating concept we'll explore next time. Thanks so much for following along.